Hey guys, have you noticed how many of your favorite retail stores have been closing their doors lately? The retail industry in the US has been experiencing a massive upheaval in recent years, with the so-called retail apocalypse in full swing. Now, the ongoing recession is forcing even more big-name retailers to close up shop, and industry experts predict that bankruptcies will soar in the upcoming months. So, what does this all mean for us as consumers? Well, if you're not prepared, it could mean trouble. That's why in this video, we're going to talk about what's causing this retail crisis, the impact it's having on our economy, and what you can do to prepare yourself for the worst. So buckle up and let's dive in. The retail apocalypse refers to the widespread closure of brick-and-mortar stores in the US in recent years. The main causes of this phenomenon include the rise of e-commerce, changing consumer preferences, and the oversupply of retail space. As online shopping becomes increasingly popular, more people are choosing to make their purchases through digital channels rather than in physical stores. At the same time, consumer preferences have shifted towards experiences over material goods, leading to a decline in traditional retail categories like clothing and home goods. This has created a situation of oversupply, with too many stores vying for a limited amount of consumer spending. The effects of this retail apocalypse include job losses, reduces foot traffic in malls and shopping centers, and a decline in property values. It has also created new opportunities for e-commerce businesses and alternative uses for retail space. The ongoing recession in the US is having a significant impact on the retail industry as consumers cut back on spending and prioritize essential purchases. Retailers are being forced to make tough decisions in order to stay afloat, including cutting costs, closing stores, and reducing staff. The recession has also exacerbated the oversupply problem in the retail industry, with too many stores and not enough consumer spending to go around. As a result, many retailers are struggling to remain profitable and some are at risk of bankruptcy. The decline in foot traffic to shopping centers and malls due to COVID-19 has also hit the retail industry hard, with many retailers relying on these locations for a significant portion of their sales. It remains to be seen how the retail industry will adapt to the ongoing recession, but it is clear that the impact will be felt for years to come. The retail industry is in the midst of a transformation as consumer patterns continue to change rapidly. One major factor is the rise of e-commerce, with more consumers than ever before choosing to shop online rather than in-store. This shift in consumer behavior has been accelerated by the COVID-19 pandemic, with many people avoiding physical stores due to safety concerns. Additionally, consumers are becoming increasingly environmentally and socially conscious, with many seeking out sustainable and ethically produced products. This has led to a growing demand for eco-friendly and fair trade products in many retail sectors. Retailers are also finding that younger generations, such as millennials and Gen Z, have different shopping preferences than their older counterparts, such as valuing experiences over material possessions. To stay relevant and competitive, retailers will need to adapt to these changing consumer patterns and offer products and experiences that meet their evolving needs and values. The rise of e-commerce has been a game changer in the retail industry, and it has had a profound impact on brick-and-mortar stores. Consumers are increasingly turning to online shopping, with the convenience of being able to purchase products from the comfort of their own homes being a major driver. This has led to a decline in foot traffic to physical stores, which in turn has resulted in reduced sales for retailers. Many retailers have tried to adapt by offering online sales, but the competition from e-commerce giants like Amazon and the high cost of implementing e-commerce platforms has made it challenging for smaller retailers to keep up. Some retailers have also experimented with the hybrid approach, such as offering buy online, pick up in-store options, but this has proven to be a stopgap solution at best. As e-commerce continues to grow, it is likely that more brick-and-mortar stores will close or downsize, leading to further consolidation in the industry. Mid-tier retailers are facing significant challenges in the current economic climate. With inflation on the rise and the ongoing recession, many consumers are cutting back on discretionary spending, leading to slower sales growth. This has put mid-tier retailers in a tough spot, as they are not as well equipped as larger retailers to weather the storm. The increased competition from e-commerce has also put pressure on mid-tier retailers to invest in costly e-commerce platforms or risk being left behind. Furthermore, many mid-tier retailers are saddled with high operational costs, including expensive leases on brick-and-mortar stores. This has made it difficult for them to adjust to changing consumer patterns and reduce their overheads. As a result, mid-tier retailers are at heightened risk of bankruptcy and store closures in the coming months. To survive, mid-tier retailers will need to be agile, reduce their costs, and focus on delivering value to their customers. The ongoing recession has put many struggling retail chains at risk of bankruptcy. With consumer spending softening and inflation on the rise, many retailers are facing declining sales and shrinking profit margins. In particular, mid-tier retailers are finding it challenging to compete with e-commerce giants like Amazon, who offer consumers a more convenient and cost-effective shopping experience. Furthermore, many retailers are burdened with high levels of debt, which can be difficult to service in a downturn. As a result, industry experts predict that bankruptcies in the retail sector will soar in the coming months, with many well-known brands at risk of disappearing from our economic landscape. Retailers that do survive will need to be nimble and adapt to changing consumer patterns quickly. They will also need to focus on improving their online presence and reducing their operational costs to remain competitive. The retail industry in the US has been undergoing significant changes in recent years, and iconic department stores have not been immune to these changes. In the past 7 years, around 40% of the nation's department stores have closed, and the trend shows no sign of slowing down. The ongoing recession and rising inflation are exacerbating the problems faced by mid-tier retailers, leaving many struggling to survive. Experts predict that national chains will be forced to shutter brick-and-mortar locations to better position themselves for the recession that is at our doorstep. Even those that survived the previous challenges of the retail apocalypse and the pandemic shutdowns may not be able to weather this latest storm. As a result, many iconic department stores are being forced to close, leaving once thriving retail districts with empty storefronts and uncertain futures. The closures of these stores are a sign of the changing times and the challenges facing the retail industry in the US today. Inflation is playing a critical role in the current retail crisis in the US as prices of goods and services increase. Consumers are feeling the pinch and have less money to spend. This trend is especially affecting mid-tier retailers who are struggling to maintain sales in the current economic climate. Inflation is also contributing to an oversupply crisis, with retailers facing higher operational costs and decreased profit margins. The situation is further exacerbated by the ongoing recession, which is causing many retail chains to close their doors permanently. Additionally, inflation is putting pressure on the stock prices of many retailers, which are often used as indicators of the health of the industry. All of these factors are creating a perfect storm for the retail sector, which is facing unprecedented challenges as it tries to adapt to the changing economic landscape. As the US retail industry grapples with the ongoing recession and the effects of the retail apocalypse, many retailers are implementing strategies to weather the storm. One of the most common strategies is cutting costs by closing unprofitable brick-and-mortar stores and shifting focus to e-commerce. This approach has been adopted by major retailers such as Nike and grocery chains like Piggly Wiggly and IGA supermarkets. In addition, some retailers are offering discounts and promotions to incentivize customers to make purchases, while others are focusing on enhancing the in-store shopping experience to increase foot traffic. Some are also implementing supply chain optimization strategies, including reducing inventory and adopting just-in-time inventory management to cut down on operational costs. To adapt to the changing consumer landscape, some retailers are also investing in technology to improve their e-commerce capabilities and provide a seamless, omni-channel shopping experience. Overall, these strategies are aimed at cutting costs, driving sales, and remaining competitive in a challenging retail environment. The retail apocalypse is not just a temporary crisis, but it will have long-term implications on the future of retail in the United States. The pandemic accelerated the shift to online shopping, and the convenience of e-commerce has led many consumers to abandon traditional brick-and-mortar stores for good. The crisis has brought to light that the future of retail lies in digital transformation and innovative strategies. Retailers need to adapt to these changing consumer habits and embrace e-commerce to thrive in the coming years. This could mean exploring new revenue streams such as offering subscription-based services, creating personalized shopping experiences, and improving their online presence. The impact of the retail apocalypse will continue to be felt, and the transformation of the retail industry will be ongoing. In the future, retailers that can balance the physical and digital aspects of their business and adapt to changing consumer patterns will be the ones that succeed. Thanks for tuning in. If you liked what you saw, give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. And be sure to turn on notifications so you never miss a video. We'll catch you in the next one.